man. Finish the song.
You did.
Studio 666 is the Foo Fighters' first feature film, which is a bit strange. But it's about the Foo Fighters, who are playing themselves, decide to go to a supposedly haunted house to record their 10th album, when crazy stuff starts happening and Dave Grohl of the band starts becoming weirder and weirder, and havoc ensues. So I'm just gonna get this out of the way first. I've listened to a couple of Foo Fighters songs, but I don't really know the band's music all that well. But this is their first stab at acting. And from the trailers, I was thinking, like, okay, this is kind of like their Evil Dead in a way. And it somewhat is, but the main problem is they can't really act. The acting's not really good. And it also doesn't, because sometimes the delivery, like, they're seeing like horrific things and they're just like, whoa, that's crazy. And I'm like, great, now say it with more emotion next time. Some of the highlights of this movie is the gore. The gore is really cool. And it's all practical, so I'm like, okay, so they went the classic, doing it all practically, which I appreciate that. So yeah, I did like that. Some of the people they got in this movie, like Whitney Cummings, Lionel Richie makes a cameo, but his cameo is kind of pointless. Like, you see him in the trailer, you think he's going to be like a big spot of the movie, but he's not, and he pops up and he's just gone, and it's like, well, see, a cameo would kind of fit into the story, but with the way they did it in this, it was just like, oh, he's just here. It was kind of like an Adam Sandler, it was like in an Adam Sandler movie. Whenever cameo pops in there, it's just like, okay, what was the point of that? There was no point to that. So why'd you even do it? The biggest highlight for me was I did like the main theme for this, because it was composed by John Carpenter, who also cameos in the movie too, which I thought was a really, really cool thing. I heard that's when I started hearing the theme. I was thinking, like, this sounds a lot like Carpenter style, and then it said, yep, he did the theme. So I'm like, that explains it. And then he pops up in the movie. I was like, oh my god, that's actually him. So I had a little smile on my face when he popped up. I think the premise, I think it's a good premise. You're gonna get compared to a lot of like Evil Dead. You're gonna get compared to that, but it's actually a kind of cool idea to have a band, go and experience all this. I think it's a nice touch to like have kind of the Foo Fighters play themselves, but the problem is that they can't really act. That's the main problem. So there's just I think there's a good movie in here, but it's just, if there was a punch up on the script, Foo Fighters acting was a bit better. Some story things, some of the things they did just felt like they just randomly did, because they were just like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we just did this? And they just did it right on the spot, and it was just like, no. And then kind of towards the third act was just kind of like, we're just going to try to throw everything at you and see if it sticks. And some of it does, but at the same time, a lot of it doesn't. So it's just kind of a mess. I don't think this is a complete failure, but at the same time, there's just a couple things that keep it from being a full-on failure. Like Like I mentioned, the practical gore was really cool, and this movie is pretty gory. So that I liked. Carpenter, it's always a plus. But and then the story, because the story was like, okay, it's like Evil Dead, but in real life, and it's a band. Okay, that can work. Um, and the fact that Dave Grohl came up with the original concept, I think was kind of cool. It shows how much he does like the horror genre. You know, not terrible, but it is fine. So yeah, I think it's like I said. I think there's a good movie in here, but it's just problems just keep racking and racking and racking up, and it's just like, okay, well, whatever. You tried. So that is my review for Studio 666. Let me know what other movies and TV shows and what other entertainment stuff you want me to check out, and I'll see you next time.